Hey there. Thanks for joining me in this Unwinding Your Neck, Shoulder, and Brain class. For this class, you'll need a block and a tennis ball, and you'll get by just fine if you don't have a block. So take your block and your tennis ball, put it down next to you, and let's start lying down. Bend your knees. Take your feet pretty wide and let the knees fall together. Take some deep breaths. Use your breath to invite anything that you're holding that doesn't feel good or supportive for your systems and your body. Just invite it out. Allow the breath to bring in the sweetness of healing and support. Take your block and put the block the medium height right underneath your head. If medium height is too much, you can take it lower. Have the very bottom edge of the block right at the base of the skull where the neck and the head meet. And just let your arms relax to your side. Deep inhale. Exhale, feel the whole weight of the head relax in the block. Take a few breaths here. This is where our nerves, many of our cranial nerves, plug into the brain stem. And when this area gets tight, it can definitely cause some pain, blockages in the nerves. Let's begin to move head side to side, nice and slow. If you're not using a block, you can just move the head side to side on the ground. This area where the neck meets the head, this is our subocciput muscles. And this area gets so clouded with tension, with our worries. Keep using your breath to just invite all of that away. All the tensions start to soften. Now turn your head to the left. Let the whole weight of the head melt into the block. As you inhale, breathe into the left side of your head. Exhale, feel the weight of the head get heavier. And now turn the head to the right. And doing the same thing, just taking a breath into the right side of the skull, upper neck area. And then side to side once again. Now bring your head back to the center. Take the block out from underneath you. Just rest it on your belly. Let your head relax down. Take a feeling breath into your neck and your head. Let the weight of the shoulders and the hands relax. Now take the block at the medium height. Pick your hips up and slide it right underneath your sacrum. The sacrum is the triangular bone right above your butt. So you should feel that the low back is supported here. Grab a hold of your tennis ball. Now lean into the right side of your body. Put the tennis ball in your left hand and just slide the tennis ball right somewhere on the left side of your upper back. You want it, I start between the shoulder blade and the spine. And then just let the left arm reach overhead, back of the hand on the floor. Take some breaths here, just feeling the upper back muscles stretch and spread into the ball. And as we move forward here, please make sure that the ball is not on the spine. It's okay if it goes onto the scapula bone a bit. You just don't want to have it on the spine. There's all these sensitive nerves that you don't want to trigger. Now, if the ball is like a lot of pressure for you, I invite you to just keep moving the ball in different locations and pausing there. Just hold and breathe. If you can take a little bit more pressure, you're going to push into your feet, lighten the weight off the block with your hips. You don't have to lift all the way. Just enough so that you can rock your body up and down. You just do that several times. I do a little side bend here, so I rock the body up so the ball slides down. Then I take the upper body to the right and the hips a little left. That just pushes the ball a little more down the mid-back. And then bring it back to center and slide the body down so the ball comes to the very top of the shoulder. You just keep doing that. Keep breathing nice and deep to support the removal of toxins, stuckness in the shoulders. If you find a good area, then I invite you just to hold it there and breathe. Our shoulders support our neck, so when we have tightness, especially chronic tightness in the upper back, it shortens and pulls on the neck muscles, which can cause pain in the neck and headaches and compression in the nerves. And I invite you to get creative. Like you could move the ball around maybe a little bit more to the outside of the shoulder on the scapula. There's some really good muscles there. Maybe you do a little side to side motion. Just as you're moving, be sure not to tense other areas of your body. Do about 30 more seconds on this side. And for the purposes of moving forward, we'll switch sides. I could do that for hours, and then you can come back to it after this class is done. So now let's put the ball on the right side. Move the right arm up overhead. Just let the back of the hand relax on the floor. Before you rock, just take a couple breaths. Invite the weight of the ball into your tissue in the upper back. And then if it's appropriate, you can begin your rocking up and down motion. Or if that's too deep for you, just move it into a different spot and take some breath. You get to control how much weight of your body you lean into the ball. Whenever I have neck tension, I always find that rolling out the shoulders or getting some nice deep upper back work with a massage therapist almost like 90% of the time releases the tension in the neck. There's some great trigger points in the upper back. In the trapezius muscle, there's about 4 trigger points that actually help to release tension in the neck. Take about 30 more seconds. Again, being creative. All right, let's take the ball out from underneath the shoulder and take the block out. Go ahead and lay straight for just a few breaths. Take some breaths into the upper back where you had fall and just take these moments to let the back integrate the work of the rolling. And then before we come to sitting, let's just do one hip stretch to prepare for sitting. So left ankle over the right knee, back release pose. Clasp hands around the right thigh or the right shin. If your head's lifted quite a bit from the floor here in order to hold your leg, grab your block and put it underneath your head. Take some deep breaths into the outer left hip. It's hard to find time alone these days, these COVID days. And so to do this recording, I had to let my daughter invite a friend to swim. And so if you're hearing screaming kids, it's the only way I could find alone time to get this recording out. These are interesting times. Let's switch legs. Take a deep breath into your outer right hip and the low back area. Our low back and our hips are also directly related and connected to our neck, hence the spine pathway from the low back into our brain. Great, release the knees, roll on over to your side. Let's come up to a seated position. Sit any way that you're comfortable. Open the arms to the side, take an inhale. Exhale, left arm on top of the right arm for eagle arms. I'll give you a side view here. We'll be doing a little seated cat-cow. So on your inhale, lift the elbows, lift the chest, get a little arch in the low back. As you exhale, lean back towards tailbone. Bring the elbows down, tuck your chin down. Lean forward into the sit bones. Inhale, arch your chest, lift the shoulders and the head slightly. Exhale and curl. Again, inhale, lift it up. And exhale. Come back to neutral, just hold eagle arms. If this gets challenging, you're welcome just to wrap the arms around you this way. Take a couple deep breaths into the upper back, right where you were rolling out with the ball. Release the arms, and let's just do some shoulder rolls back. Now open the arms, switch sides. Take a big breath in. Exhale, right arm on top. Back into your eagle arms or your wrap. You can even do the cat-cow with this wrapped arm position. Inhale, lift the elbows, or lift the chest. Exhale, curl. Chin toward chest, elbows down. Couple more on your own. All right, back to neutral. Just hold your eagle arms for a few breaths. Push your elbows forward, draw your shoulder blades down the back. And release the arms, and once again, roll the shoulders back. All right, take your left leg straight out to the side. I like to use a block for this position. I like to put the block on the inside of the leg. If you don't have a block, don't worry about it. Sit up tall, bring the right arm back behind you and just grab your clothing, or some of you might actually grab the thigh. Put your hand or your forearm down on the block or floor. As you inhale, lengthen the chest out away from the belly. And exhale, we're going to relax the neck here. So hanging the left ear toward the shoulder. If that's too much of a hang or of a stretch, look down. Now, as you inhale, stretch your breath, just like you would reach your own fingers into the neck, around the top of the shoulder. As you exhale, shrug the right shoulder down, relax your jaw. If you're more flexible, you're welcome to prop your head on your hand. Keep your feet active so you have awareness spreading even through your legs. Now stay in your side bend, but release the arm from behind you. Inhale, stretch the arm up and bring it about halfway down toward the hip. So it's not right above the shoulder, it's like in between shoulder and hip. And then exhale, lean the arm back like you're going to lay it on the wall behind you. At the same time, stretch your chest forward. Keep softening the neck, all right? And reach up and out through your arm and your fingers so you unclog the front of the shoulder and into the chest. You can hang your head or you can continue to support it. Take a deep inhale. As you exhale, circle the arm down toward the floor. Bring it out in front of you. Inhale, open the arm and the chest. Exhale, arm down. Keep going. I prefer just to let the head stay still and calm. But if you want, you can move the eyes to follow the hand if that feels better for you. Inhale, bring the arm up. Let's switch directions. Exhale. Couple more. Just stay really connected to feeling your own range of motion in your shoulder. If you have a lot of popping or cracking going in the shoulder, make your circles smaller. And sometimes you can even bring your fingers to the actual shoulder and just circle this way. Sometimes that'll take the popping out or the cracking. All right, come on up. Just sit up tall for a moment. Take a breath and feel the difference from one side to the next. All right, switch legs. The block inside the knee if you're using it. Get tall, bring left arm back behind you and grab something, clothing or thigh. Put the right hand or forearm down. Lean back a little bit into your forearm, and then inhale, lift the collarbone up away from the pubic bone. So you get space in the front body. And then exhale, hang the right ear toward the shoulder. Feel the difference in the side. Keep working the magic of your breath to soften the muscle tissue, the habitual stuckness and grabbing that you hold in the shoulders and neck. And a lot of the stuckness and tightness could also be around your brain, which is most often the tightest and most inflexible part of our body, is our brain. And in order to get that brain-heart connection, everything that's between it, which is our neck and our shoulders and back, upper back, we need to soften and bring spaciousness to this area so the pathways can become clear and more receptive. Just take 3 more deep breaths. Stay in your side bend, but release the arm. Stretch it up and bring the hand halfway down toward the hip. Deep inhale. Exhale, lay the arm back. Stretch the heart and chest forward. Relax the shoulders. Also, to unclog the left chest and the heart, you've got to reach out through the arm. So not only lay it back, but also reach out. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, release the arm toward the floor. Let's do our circles. Inhale as you circle it up overhead, opening the chest. Exhale, bring it down. Keep going. Nice and slow, you guys. There's absolutely no hurry. Switch directions. As you inhale, the arm is circling up and overhead. And exhale, it's moving down. And bring it back up. All right, come onto your hands and knees. The knees under the hips, the hands right under the shoulders. Do some cat-cow. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, curl the spine. Tuck chin toward the chest. Drop the belly down. Inhale, arc the chest forward, shoulders down. And exhale, curl. Close your eyes. Inhale, open the body. Exhale, and round. A few more. As you're moving, just feel the range of motion from the very tip of your tailbone all the way up to the brain. As we bring motion and movement into our spine, we help the communication of the nervous system. Helps to unclog any tightness or blockness that compress the nerves from communicating to the rest of the body. Come on back to neutral. Take the right arm underneath the left arm, turn the right palm up, and then put the right shoulder and the right side of the head down. Snake your right arm through a little bit more, lean back into the right shoulder. Put your left hand on your hip for a moment and just shift. You can push a little with the hand, shift your left hip back, and then you can wrap the left arm behind you, or you can keep it on the floor. If your head doesn't comfortably reach, put it on a pillow or a block. Here's a great opportunity to assist the opening around the upper back muscles that we rolled with the tennis ball. So that was like, that got one layer. And so now not only the stretch, but the deep breath accesses another layer. Use your inhale to help stretch some of the muscle tissue away from the bone, the scapula bone. Put the left hand down on the floor. Come on up to hands and knees. Take your knees a little wider than your hips. You have two choices here. Child's pose is one of them. Down dog is another. If your hamstrings and hips are flexible enough to do down dog is great for getting some neck traction. If you're in child's pose, forehead on the ground, if it doesn't reach, grab your block. Come back to hands and knees. Do the other side. So left arm now goes right underneath the right arm. Snake your arm through a little bit more. Lean back into your left shoulder. Right hand on the hip. Push the right hip back so you lengthen out the hip and get a little more stretch down on the left shoulder. And you can wrap the right hand behind you. Or you can leave it on the floor. Take some deep inhales all around left scapula, shoulder area. With your exhale, let the weight of the head be held by the earth. Take 2 more deep breaths. Come back up to hands and knees. Take knees a little wider than hips. Grab your block. Come on into child's pose with your head on a block. I like my block up the highest way. For some people, they need it lower, so you find what feels good. Just hold your block with your hands. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, let the weight of the forehead relax into the block, or maybe you're just on the ground. You don't have a block. If you get a lot of tightness and stuckness around the base of the neck area, this is actually a really great pose to do, but you have to hold it for a while to help release the pain, the tension. Just by putting this weight down onto the frontal bone, letting the frontal bone, the forehead bone, press down into a little weight helps to bring some pressure, so relief pressure around the back of the neck and where those nerves plug into the brain stem. But even if you don't have pain, this is still a great pose to do for the nervous system. And get your breath all the way up into the base of the neck and the head. Usher in the kind of breath that is supportive and healing for your body, your spirit. Now keep the weight of your head here and just slowly begin to rock your head side to side. Very slow. No tension in the head as you're moving. Working with the frontal bone, the bone of the forehead, is also really great for grumpiness or when you're moody or grumpy. And also, we've got our sinuses here around the eyebrows. This is great to do if you're feeling congested or any sinus pain around this area. All right, come back up. Let's do one last neck release pose in a seated position, my all-time favorite. Sit any way that you're comfortable. There's like a lot of feeling up in the head, so let's just pause for a moment and let that settle and feel it. All right, bring your left palm down, just like mine, fingers face toward the right. Keep the hand in this position, pick up the left hip, and sit on the hand. Don't tuck it in too tight, otherwise the stretch gets more in the arm. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, lean a little to the right and hang the right ear toward the shoulder. If you're not in a cross-legged position and sitting on the hand isn't an option or doesn't feel good, you can take the arm straight out instead. Really reach the arm and hang the head. If you would like more stretch, take the right hand. Don't push on the head, just let the weight of the hand give you an extra stretch. You don't have to do it if that's too much. Let the jaw relax. You can even just very gently play with the angle of your chin to find where you get the best stretch. Now take your entire right hand, hold the bottom of your head, right side of your head, and then use your hand to lift. Switch the cross in your legs and switch hands. So right palm down, fingers face the left. Sit on the hand unless you're doing the reaching out through the arm variation. Inhale, lengthen spine. You got to keep the chest lifted. Exhale, lean a little to the left and hang the left ear. Gather your deepest breath, bring it forward, and invite it to just rinse through any like toxicity that hangs around in your neck, in your brain, whether it's tight muscle or even thoughts. I'm a headache person. It's one of my life challenges. And when I'm headachy or just feeling fogged up around neck, shoulder, brain area, it's really hard to like hold a clear vision in my daily life actions. So working with these stretches, just even a half hour of self-care is one of the greatest gifts for me personally that I can offer not only my own healing process, but my family and the people around me. One of our contributions to the world is to take care of ourselves. If you want to do the deeper position, you can bring the hand to the jaw. Let's take a few more breaths. Take your hand, your left hand, right underside the head, and use your hand to lift the head. Release the hands to the knees. Drop the chin down. Let's just do some very slow half circles. So just side to side. When your head comes to one side, take the opposite shoulder and shrug it down. If you don't have any cervical spine injuries, you can take the head into a full circle. Avoid dropping the head all the way back. It's just an extension. Even if you're not injured, you don't want to drop the head all the way back. Circle the other way. Come to center. Put one hand right on the base of your skull where we had the block earlier. Put the other hand on your heart. Take a breath. Ask your neck, shoulder, brain area, this area we've been working. What is one thing that you need to do for the rest of your day to continue to support the spaciousness that you've created in this area? Thanks, everyone. Thanks for joining me in this super sweet class. I hope you feel a little more open and spacious.